Welcome. I will be pouring gongfucha or practicing gongfucha, which is a traditional Chinese, Taiwanese, and Japanese form of pouring tea, which is anchored in meditation, bringing our awareness to the present moment, finding stillness amidst all the challenges we're going through. It's a great way to connect with your friends and your family, with yourself, with the tea. And tea is an endless, seemingly endless, rabbit hole of information and knowledge practices. And I'm going to do a brief demonstration for you on how to pour this tea. This tea that I'll be pouring is milk and honey oolong, or it's called milk and honey. There's no additives, it's just a pure tea leaf. Milk and honey is just the name for the tea. I bought this from Floating Leaves Tea Shop in Seattle. And yeah, so a little bit about this method is, there's so many aspects to what makes a tea come to life. How to listen to a tea and have it speak for itself, or to bring out the best of a tea. That involves the water, which I have boiling right here in this Russian tea vessel, Russian tea boiler. So the water you use, the type of water you use, the temperature you boil the water at, the tea leaves themselves, the vessels you're brewing your tea in, your presence when you're brewing the tea, the timing of how long you brew the tea, and so on. And so all aspects, and the environment as well, the environment in which you're brewing your tea greatly influences the experience of the tea. So I'm going to do this simple demonstration for you. This is using a gaiwan. This is really good. This is a porcelain gaiwan. It's really good for, just trying a tea and seeing what the tea can do on a basic level. Because the porcelain vessel doesn't absorb the tea flavors that you brew tea in. So it won't absorb from a black tea, green tea, etc. It washes off very quickly, whereas other teas are more porous and they'll absorb the tea and season over time. So this one's really great for just getting an initial analysis of a tea, or initial experience of a tea, and then you can experiment with more complex vessels. So the first part is rinsing the tea vessels. And warming the decanter. Rinsing the cups. I've already rinsed the gaiwan earlier, so I'm not going to do that again, and I put the tea leaves in already. Part of rinsing the cups is to warm the cups and warm the vessels so that your tea stays warm as it's brewing. This tea has a very deep smell to it. It is a high mountain oolong, low oxidized, so it's hasn't been baked or anything or roasted. It's just the tea leaves, and it's very green. But this is considered an oolong from Taiwan. I get buttery tones, floral tones, and now I'm going to add the water. So we're in real life time. I live with other people. My dad is going to work, so we'll say bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
This isn't the smoothest tea ceremony. I've got a spilling water everywhere. But so it is. So this is my first demonstration. It's definitely not perfect. There are a lot of external sounds, people coming and going, and I can hear my baby in the background and playing with her toys. I didn't even do the ceremony fully. Like, there's steps I've skipped here, and I'll show in future videos the proper form. So this is more of a relaxed session. So what I just did was I poured the hot water into the vessel. I let the tea brew for a second, and then I poured into the decanting pot so it doesn't oversteep. And if you look at this color, it's like a very light, kind of yellowy gold color. I love this vessel, by the way. It's considered like a heart-shaped hammered glass decanter. I'm very fond of it. It's very beautiful. So I pour 1 cup for the Buddha, for you, for our enlightened natures, and for the peace of all beings. I'll pour a little bit over the Buddha. This is my little Buddha teapot. And a cup for me. We find a nice meditation posture when drinking tea, so it's a meditation. It's an opportunity to relax, to enjoy the present moment, to be still in the present moment, and to enjoy your tea. Tea's a little, has like light nutty tones, vegetal, smooth, buttery. It's a very gentle tea. I'm enjoying it. I look forward to the future infusions. So this teas, when you brew teas this way, you can pour the water over the tea leaves multiple times. Depending on the tea, can go like up to like 12 times, but on average, usually around 6, maybe if you're lucky. With the high quality teas, you're going to get more steepings. So I'll leave that session for now. And how does this relate to animal welfare and veganism? I think that these practices have everything to do with animal welfare and veganism. Meditation and mindfulness is the foundation of my being here. I try my best to bring my mind back, to bring my mind back into the present, to dwell in the present as best as I can, despite all of the many, many, many issues we have going on in the world. Because it's only through presence, only through single-mindedness that we can be truly effective in this world, that our energies can affect others, and that we can truly transform minds. Because at the foundation of the horrific practices we have in this world, like meat eating and animal eating, animal killing, and all the other issues as well, deforestation, industrialization, capitalism, consumerism, colonization, genocide, war, poverty. The foundation of all of this really stems to the foundation of our minds. The foundation is greed, hatred, and ignorance. It's a disturbed mind that is not focused, that is not content, that is not present. So you have to have these mindfulness practices to bring in those energies to transform greed, hatred, and ignorance, to to transform these sensual desires into something that's more selfless, that brings you more joy, true peace. And so practices like this, not necessarily tea, it doesn't have to necessarily be tea, it can be a lot of things, but tea is one beautiful way to anchor your mind into the present, to find that stillness that you can carry into your activism, that you can carry into your service for non-human animals, and for all humans, for nature, for non-human life. And you connect with the land more. So this tea, you get to know the harvesters, you get to know the farmers, how they made these teas, the immense work and energy that goes into that as a passion, as a life practice, and that's beautiful in itself as well. I do recommend trying to source locally if you can. If you can't, you can get really good tea from Taiwan and China and Japan, other places as well. It's very difficult to grow this type of tea in the United States, if that's where you are. They do well in tropical climates, high elevation. So Hawaii actually has a really cool tea farm called Mauna Kea Tea, and I've actually bought tea from them, and their tea is so good. That's more local, at least to people in the States. So I do recommend them. They make really good green tea. It's the highest quality, really. It's buttery, it's rich, it's full of life, and they're just the most beautiful tea farm I've heard of. They're organic. They believe in connecting with the land, doing traditional farming practices, and they just cultivate themselves. They cultivate love and care for what they do. So, connecting with the land, connecting with what we're eating, what we're consuming, what we're putting into our bodies, all of this directly relates to our relationships with non-human life, with nature, with non-human individuals. And it opens our hearts up, it opens up our minds and our hearts and our bodies in a way that makes us more receptive to truth, to justice, to wisdom, and to the service of all creatures. Doing these practices connects us to our ancestors and takes us back to ancient wisdom, and hopefully can help you connect with your deeper nature. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to doing more tea videos with you, and I'll tell you more about other teas and how to do other mindfulness-based practices that can just transform your life in so many ways.